Welcome to today's after church tea time, in which we discuss and go deeper with today's Sunday service, which was about joy and presented by the lovely couple, Jose and Michaela. So today we're talking about joy, the steps to eternal joy. That's the sermon we have today. And I think it's a very timely sermon. I think a lot of the people in the community would know or desire to know how to go deeper in this topic of joy. And I think like Jose and Michaela really brought it home, so to say, when it comes to the topic of joy. And we are joined today by beautiful unionists, Nicole and Fabian. So let us begin our discussion.
We're opening up if Nicole or Fabian want to start sharing something, or if you have any points.
Yeah, the first question maybe is, how do I have joy? Well, it is a choice, right? So we can choose to feel joy and take it from there, basically. And we can choose joy right now and have a joyful time in the tea time even. And even watching it, we can choose that and see if it works. So let's field test what we just learned.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's what you shared with having a choice and choosing to feel joy kind of ties very well into, the healing aspect of, having more joy in your life, and what Jose and Michaela shared about the process of coming deeper and deeper into joy. And that, it's safe to acknowledge that maybe you don't experience joy in some area of your life, or maybe in a great, portion of your life, and to make that new choice and to heal into like a new space for you to feel joyful. And you do this, like as Fabian shared, like with each and every moment, with each and every situation, you do have an opportunity to go deeper into joy. So even now, as you're watching this, or for us, we're being part of this discussion, if you have some feelings that are not really joyful, maybe it's a moment for you to take a step back and reflect, feel to those feelings, move through those feelings, and choose to love yourself where you don't feel joy right now.
Yeah, and it's like as Jose and Michaela said, it's not going to be like a boom of joy and done. It's going to be more like something that grows over time. Like as you keep choosing, it's going to be an eternal joy rather than feeling very intense now and having a crash then. Because that's not really like what we want. That's not really healthy for us.
Yeah, and that's not like real joy. And Jose and Michaela shared that the real joy comes from a foundation of peace. So yeah.
What I loved about them sharing is that you can allow God to show you what it actually feels like and what it is like, and to accept that you don't really know what joy is, because sometimes you think you know something and you don't really know, and that it's safe to surrender that and accept yourself where you're at with the feeling of joy and happiness, and go from there.
Yeah, force cannot be forced. No, force, not joy cannot be forced, And so whatever is right now is fine. Even if you are sad or upset, just let it happen, but don't remain there. You can free yourself from it by feeling your feelings and moving through it. And then, yeah, on the other side of it, there will be joy again.
They also shared that they experienced that they had being upset that they have an upset and that they weren't where they at, and that this is safe to see that these tiny milestones are even making progress, and that, yeah, that this is emotional stability in a way. When you have this, okay, this is my foundation and I can grow from there.
Yeah, and it's also about really kind of embracing this thing of like knowing that you will have upsets until perfect union, and not maybe judge yourself or criticize yourself or take yourself away from that joy. I know that this is a pattern that we also work through, because what used to happen to us was we were joyful, we were like going to life, everything was yay, amazing, and then maybe we did a mistake or something would happen, and instead of seeing it as an opportunity for learning and an opportunity to cultivate even more joy in our life by again learning that lesson that was being presented to us, we would kind of drag ourselves into like a hole of depression and suffering because, oh no, we did a mistake, or we did like something, I don't know what's gonna happen, and kind of taking that situation and kind of making a crisis out of it. Like I think Michaela mentioned about like crises and upsets and all of that. But I think like once you get to like, I think like this kind of happens maybe a bit in the beginning when you are on the journey. At the beginning, I mean, the first years, like it's not until you kind of get to a point where you kind of get this like, oh, this is going to keep going and we can relax into it. And we're just going to keep going here, and we can have joy and we can have that how to say lightheartedness about like our journey, even if like we go through like challenges, and even if like we have maybe challenging experiences, they don't have to take us away from our joy. They can help us deepen it.
And it's safe to face whatever is coming up, and then, yeah, there is also emotional stability eventually. That was like a key word in that sermon, emotional stability, with like neon flashlights. That, yeah, in order to experience joy, you want to have stability first. And that comes from feeling your feelings and doing the work and, yeah, doing all the right things continuously and cultivating good habits. And then miraculously joy arises from that peace that comes from your foundation.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I wonder, because I really love that Jose and Michaela kind of shared that personal experience that they had with going past like their former Airbnb and like, feeling very emotional because they
Airbnb?
Apartment. Yeah, apartment, I thought it was, yeah. Where they lived, and feeling very emotional because, they have grown so much and that they have cultivated that emotional stability. So I wonder for maybe you, Fabian and Nicole, if you'd want to share a place where you have cultivated that emotional stability and you see like a difference in your life by, applying these teachings and being persistent and committed, because I know both of you have been in the teaching for quite some time, and I think like you do have maybe something to share.
Of course, in the past there were a lot of experience even now when I'm live, and it's kind of okay, how do I feel when I'm maybe seen, and I'm very much more comfortable about that and not that shy. And this is by cultivating peace and feeling safe and feeling supported and joyful in just being me, and yeah, feeling accepted in that. And this is where I can say that this is a huge improvement for myself, and that makes me joyful and happy.
For me, it is in the workspace. I had a lot of like issues there of like overworking, you know. I want to do all these things, but I am a human. I have a body, and so I have to take care of it. And sometimes it is time to relax and feel good and rest, you know, and work from a cup that is full from resting again. So knowing when it's time to work and when it's time to rest really provides me that stability in the workspace.
That's really, really awesome. Thank you for sharing. And I think that Nicole, with you going live, and like Fabian with you, like in the workspace, I feel like it's like a really great thing to, again, kind of look back and have this introspection moment in which you can appreciate yourself for the perseverance that you had, like in healing your journey. And I invite everybody that's watching to allow themselves to have moments like this where they notice like a difference in the life that was caused by them doing the inner work and being perseverant, and how you may experience a lot more joy in an area that you weren't experiencing before, again, because you have worked the process. And for me, I can share a piece here. It's in receiving feedback and maybe like discipline in my life purpose. It was very difficult at first for me to go through that process of, really, I guess, just being open and vulnerable to receive that feedback and, go through the process of like improving myself, basically, because I work with people that really, care about me and love me. And it was difficult at first to kind of see that and accept that here in the Church of Union. And once I kind of like relaxed into that and worked like a lot of feelings, I have stepped into a new place of joy where, I feel like there is a deeper partnership between, me and obviously my twin flame Laura and you, and also other people, where we come together and work on projects or things together. And there is so much joy in, finding the best, to give to someone. I think like that's something that I have relaxed more into because of this work. And I was able to cultivate like joy in this place where before I had like a lot of, anxiety, I had a lot of, suffering, I had a lot of fears. Now I have just a lot of, passion and drive and joy and eagerness to go deeper and learn. And I think that's really, really amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah, it's wonderful to share, and it's wonderful to kind of allow yourself to go through this process with building that eternal joy. Yeah, of course, it's Jeff and Shaleia. It's like the teachings of union, and how Jose and Michaela shared in the sermon. I think like they spoke about the process very in depth and honestly, and like it's a really good like reference sermon.
I feel like they really are a good example of someone who broke through that joy in their life when it comes to their apartment, their finances, their union, and had just a lot of success through that. And it wasn't something overnight, it was just something built, like constantly. And just seeing Michaela, how she grew from like where she started, let's say, in T-Fast to where she's now, it's such a huge difference. And you can see how she has so much more joy right now, and she's so confident in her joy coming from that space where she was. So it's really beautiful.
Mhm.
And she also shared that they worked on this for months. So it's also safe to acknowledge that this is, if you're dealing with depression or maybe heavy stuff, it must not be depression, that you allow yourself to let it be a process, and that these feelings of sadness or grief, it's safe to feel that, and it's safe to go there and to face it down, to use the words of Jose, and that joy is returning back to you if you're doing that, and that it's brave and a good thing to, yeah, see that this is actually something what's releasing you. And yeah.
When
Yeah,
you
I love
experience it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that this is a lesson from Romance Attraction, that if you have depression or sadness, or that you have these feelings, it's just that you're releasing that and calling in the opposite. And I really love how this kind of perception shift about what's happening in your journey can help you go from a place where you feel powerless to a place where you feel empowered, to allow yourself to cultivate that next level of what you're calling in, be it joy, be it abundance, be it, forgiveness, happiness, confidence, whatever it is. It's really empowering to allow yourself to see that it's okay to have challenges and to move these challenges. And maybe a lot of people around you move through a lot of similar challenges, and we're all in this together. There's nobody that's better than one another. There's nobody that has a secret, thing that's not, being, shared. There's no like defect going around. It's just that we're all in this process together, and as long as we choose to go through the healing that the teachings of union shows us, we will all arrive in our own joy, however that looks for us.
And there's no purpose in trying to compare yourself with someone else's journey, because we all are, unique, and therefore we're all going to work through unique things in our life. And, just because someone doesn't see necessarily that it has so much challenges in their life, let's say you don't see necessarily that, doesn't mean they don't have that, because as Alexandra said, we all have, and they're there and they're present, and it's just about each one of us to choose to move through. And I'm sharing this just because I know we met with someone, I'm not sure if yesterday or like a few days ago, about like exactly this thing. I didn't communicating that they didn't knew that necessarily we had so many challenges as this person had, and just because he didn't saw the challenges in our life, or didn't saw everything that was happening in our life, but just because you don't see that doesn't mean you have more than others or less, because that doesn't, I don't think you can really compare that. Yeah,
you can really compare, and it's safe to like surrender that and just kind of embrace the process. I think like as soon as you allow yourself to embrace the process, it wouldn't matter how many challenges you have or not. It's just going through the process of purification, and you're going to feel anyway very rewarded in, finding maybe these new places of, oh, I don't have joy in that place as much. I can like refine here. I can go deeper. I can allow myself to experience even more joy. Oh, there's a new level of joy that I can experience here that I was completely unaware of. And, the cycle kind of restarts, how Jose and Michaela shared, and also Adam and Brienne kind of said that they feel like the same thing of like cycles of healing coming in and out. And they they kind of go through like similar things, but they have like a deepening in that space. So yeah, it's that.
And not focusing on the blocks that you are clearing all the time, focusing on the joy and the little successes that arise, and that will make you feel better and see what you're actually accomplishing and appreciating that.
There were times when I felt peaceful or even happy that it was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong because there is no uncomfortable feeling inside of me. So is it safe to feel that way? Is it safe to feel peaceful? Do I have to dig deeper to search for an upset to feel that I'm doing the work or healing? And this is comforting and beautiful that Jose and Michaela shared, that this is also something you are building because this is why you're doing it, to feel good and to expand the peace and expand the joy, and that you don't have to search for upsets or feel bad when you feel peaceful or good, because this is what you have built and this is the foundation and the emotional stability they're talking about. And so that you have the spiritual muscle to have new challenges where you are able to handle. You will not ever get things you're not able to handle, but when you're only focusing on the bad stuff, you can't really feel good and stable on the good stuff so that you can embrace more.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I really love that Jeff and Shaleia, I think like in a Twin Flame Ascension School class, they said that, upsets are gifts. Yeah. And, when you heal an upset, you receive like a really big gift in your life. So therefore, if you don't see your upsets as that, and you just see that the pain and the suffering and everything, then of course that you have a resistance in moving forward in your journey, because bigger and bigger gifts will come up, but you'll also be more equipped to open the gifts and process them, because you have that, experience and that spiritual, muscle. When you don't allow yourself to see that, you're going to have that unpleasantness about your journey, and you're not going to be like really like aligned in what's really happening, because it's going through those feelings and going through those challenges that will bring you that gift. You have to unpack the gift to receive it, and that's how you unpack the gift. You feel through those feelings, you love yourself, you express, you just have to surrender into the process. Yeah.
Jose and Michaela shared that they refined that with the new apartment, so that they say, they refined it. This is what's coming up right now as they moved into the new apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like when it comes to that, I know that just to share from our experience as well with refining the apartment, I feel like we as well have moved through, let's say, even the apartment that we're living right now, through a lot of iteration of how this apartment looks like and how it feels like. Just because when we first came in, we were at a certain level of like us experience, but as we just started living here, we desired more joy and more joy, so things would come up. And as that came up, we had to really go through, instead of being, okay, let's just move, let's just love this apartment actually, and then see what's the next step. Because I feel like, you get in these spaces where you could make a choice to just change the thing altogether rather than actually receive the full lesson of it. And that's kind of like what refinement really means here, to really sit with that until you can't really like move any forward with that space. And that's, I feel like, how we did as well with this apartment so far. We really changed it in a way that right now it provides us a lot of joy, because we have invested in refining it a lot into how it is, how it looks like. and everything to have a purpose in it. So.
That's good to know, actually. I was looking for a new apartment, and I still am, but I have a lot of ways how to keep loving this current apartment still and make it nicer, you know?
Yeah, I think like this is a thing of like, you know, claiming what you have and what you desire right now and moving through those challenges. You have to kind of have that life experience in a way and move through those feelings, go through that healing so you can like attain the next level to just manifest that.
Yeah, you have to love it completely before you leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, there was something like that. I agree. Okay. You are right.
I don't need to be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I feel like, you know, with this sermon, really like sharing, you know, like as Jose and Michaela shared about, you know, their experience and how they did it and what was their insight, it was really beautiful to see a different experience of that, because I feel like it's really nice, like whenever someone shares about an experience, let's say of joy or how they see that subject, we can always see a new perspective on it. And because I really do enjoy that, because I know like I think we as well shared, we had a sermon about joy.
Yeah, and like we talked about the play and like interaction. I know we did that, and I really like appreciated this sermon because I feel like, as you said, it brought like another perspective. And I think that joy is such a universal, you know, feeling that you can cultivate in every area of your life, right? It starts, of course, like I think fundamentally people are thirsty for joy in their romantic life and for joy in their, you know, how to say, profession, life purpose, right? That's what I'm trying to get, you know, in their jobs. That's where there's like the greatest thirst, you know, but as those thirst starts being quenched some bit, you can like allow yourself to be aware of other places where you can cultivate deeper joy, like your home life, your apartment, your relationship with food, your relationship with your pets, your relationship with your greater community, with your neighbors, with, you know, anything, and how you can have deeper joy in all of those areas. And I think like it's really loving to see a different perspective than, you know, ours or what would I think like personally used to, because it allows us to deepen in joy in there. And, you know, maybe Nicole is going to share about some other place where she experienced joy, and that's going to bring like more value to the table, and Fabian as well. And the more kind of we allow ourselves to share that joy and how maybe we arrived at some conclusions about how to have joy in a different area of our lives, it's gonna kind of grow and compound ourselves, and it's like the gift is given and all of us can go deeper in this space together, right? And I feel like that's you know, the true power of this sermon.
What I totally agree with what you're saying. And Jeff and Shaleia say, when you want to receive more, you have to give more. And it comes down to what does make me happy, to really give from a full cup and from a place of joy and happiness, to cultivate that and to build a dynamic of giving and receiving happiness and joy. And you are doing it with your life purpose and play, as you shared, and you have to explore what's actually something that makes me happy, and what is this what I want to give in, not just searching for happiness or joy from the outside to support myself, of course, but also to really build a foundation and have this inner state of me giving the gift and not buying something temporarily what makes me feeling high maybe, but this is what stood out for me as you shared what you're sharing, Alexandra.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it ties very well into, as I say, joy has to be cultivated from within. And you do have to acknowledge that maybe you don't know joy in some areas. And I think like having a sermon like this can help you just introspect and be like, oh, maybe I'm not actually experiencing joy in that area. I might have thought that I believe that I have joy, but maybe I don't. And, is that kind of willingness to look and explore your inner self and how you truly honestly feel about something, that it's going to allow you to go deeper, kind of waking up from that numbness and into how do you actually feel in this space. I know that this is something that we have been kind of challenged recently in being like honest with our feelings and how we feel actually in some places. And we have found that we were not being fully honest all the time, and we were kind of masking things for different reasons. And the moment that we allowed ourselves to be honest, we experienced like this deep kind of sadness, but it was only just releasing because it was like an impact of like, wow, actually I've been really sad here, and I haven't really realized it until now. And it was humbling to go to that experience. We had like a lot of feelings to process, but also there was like a hope and like a certainty that there's something good coming, as I'm moving through those feelings. And I feel like, having a sermon like this is kind of showing you that when you're in the thick of it, when you're there, maybe feeling that depression or that sadness or those not so pleasant feelings, is that there is hope, and to have faith in moving through those feelings and allowing yourself to go to the other side here of the upset, where the other side meaning where you have healed and where you allow that joy to kind of blossom within you.
I love that.
And that sadness is basically joy returning. I'm not sure if we already said it here, but
You can say it again.
yeah. So the yucky thing, what is actually is leaving you for the better thing,
Yeah. And that's why it's a gift. That's why it's a gift to be awakened to that. Oh, I'm actually sad here. Damn, I didn't know I was sad here. And now I suddenly have this awareness of this huge sadness within me. And that's why it's such a gift, because it's like now you can actually have real joy in that place. Because before that space within you was occupied by yucky. And now it can be cleaned up by your presence and your love to cultivate joy. And it is a process. And I really love this also, like in coming back to the sermon, that, it is a process of inner purification that you have to go through to maybe fully have something material manifest, but it's completely worth it to go through that process. It's completely worth it to work through those yucky feelings so you can have your harmonious union, to go through that yucky feelings to manifest your life purpose and be completely supported from that. It is more than worth it. Like, you're going to receive what you think and more than that when you go in this relationship with God deeper.
By the way, do you have any comments?
Not yet.
Just
Hellos.
Just hellos, but I can just refresh to make sure. Just Just gonna refresh, make sure. I know, like Granvir said, like at the beginning, hello team, and Michaela at some point said hello everyone.
Yeah.
But the conversation was quite fiery, so I didn't stop you guys.
Mhm. There were some intense feelings being
Some joyful.
intense joy being like not intense. It was like peaceful. It was like yes, beautiful joy being shared with all of us here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I want to just come back to Fabian and check in. I know, like at the beginning of the discussion, you shared, and we're kind of halfway through. You shared that, you know, to have joy. So how do you feel like you're doing here? Check in.
Let me look at my statistics.
Statistical joy. Where do you keep them?
For those of you who do not know, watching, Fabian is passionate about data and numbers, and he's like studying, you know, these statistics about, you know, different things. So that's why we laughed. Like, we know Fabian, but he's passionate about that. So yeah.
Maybe you can let him say that.
Well, thank you. It's true. But yeah, it looks like it worked. There's a high probability that it's statistically significant, and yeah, the choice worked.
The choice worked. Really happy about that. Good. Nicole, do you agree? Are we all on the same page?
Yes.
Good. Just taking a little comedic break as we ground in.
Meaning a break from joy.
Just a comedic continuation of our discussion then, not a break, continuation. I don't know terms that would describe what we're doing right now, but I think there is a term.
We're enjoying.
Mm-hmm. Good. So are you guys like feeling inspired to change something in your life based on today's sermon?
Yes. I don't want to deprive, I guess this was the word, my joy when I experience new challenges or upsets. So it's safe to be peaceful and not to go into survival or crisis mode, as they mentioned, when there are challenges coming up or upsets, and to honor what I have achieved in my life and what, thanks to the teachings of union, what's good in my life, and to not have this, to have balance in both ways.
Beautiful.
Yeah, to just choose peace and stability, you know, and from there, joy can naturally arise. And yeah, really choosing the peace and not the up and downs.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see a theme with kind of the stability and the kind of slow, not slow, but like the steady simmer of joy and increasing joy rather than highs and lows in our lives. And that's I think like there is some like misconception in the world that, you know, the highs and the lows are more attractive. But I think like once you allow yourself to kind of detox from that and just be in this place where you are peaceful and joyful, and your joy is gradually increasing at the pace that feels appropriate for you, it's so much more rewarding, fulfilling, and healthy to experience. And I think that's also kind of ties into something that Jose said, that in order for you to kind of cultivate the joy, and I think it was like, it was a quote from Jeff, that if you want to become more attractive to your twin flame, you have to eliminate stress from your life. And I think like stress can come from these highs and lows that we might place ourselves into knowingly or unknowingly through different choices that we make in our lives. So the choice of kind of having peace and love as a foundation in our life and going deeper in your relationship with God in that place can really, help you eliminate that stress.
I agree.
Yeah. And maybe for us, like what I feel like I take away from this sermon, and I feel like I would like go deeper with, is that I have a real kind of desire to experience even more joy in my life. I've always been a joy addict. Joy addict. I want to like go deeper into this space, and I feel like this sermon provided the perfect refresher on how to approach that and how to feel confident that yes, I can achieve joy even in places where I don't feel so joyful right now.
Mhm.
Isn't your name protector of joy or something? Like the meaning of your name?
I think it is a protector of something. I'm not sure if of joy. I don't remember. Alexandra or Alexander, I know, like comes from protector of something. I know there is a protector. I don't remember if of joy.
Yeah. I didn't thought about that.
Yep. It is protector of joy. I think you're right. It is protector of joy. So yeah, strengthening that my abilities to protect the joy. Yes, jokes. Good. How do you guys feel about the conversation? Do you have maybe like something more to share or closing thoughts before we go?
One thing that I remember is to really look under the carpet, because they told that, and to not just put everything under the carpet, basically, and to be like, oh, joy, balance, peace, joy, not just high, right?
Yeah, and not fake, joy.
Yeah, I was looking for the carpet.
Yeah.
No plastic face.
Nope.
Don't fake it.
Yeah, it's only to like really facing those that you can like cultivate real joy. Cleaning up and not sweeping it under the carpet, but actually cleaning it up properly.
Oh, there's a little mountain. Like a carpet.
I wonder who's there. Let's not look.
Oh, it's my cat.
I was actually thinking, I wanted to say that maybe it's just your cat.
Meanwhile, your two cats are sitting on top of the carpet, looking at you. It's like, it must be my third imaginary cat. Fabian has two cats, for those of you that do not know.
They're hiding somewhere. Chilling rather.
Under the carpet?
Under the carpet.
But maybe under the sofa.
Maybe under the sofa.
Yeah.
Nicole is like over with the jokes. Yeah. Nicole cannot take any more jokes.
Joy overloaded.
Good.
So any closing thoughts or like anything that you want to share, Nicole?
Just one thing. sometimes when you interact with people, and then it's about honoring yourself where you're at the core, and not to put on a plastic face and act like you're happy when you're not. And that's something what I'm taking with me as well.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Closing thoughts on being honest. Don't sweep things under the rug. Honor your experience just as it is. Respect it. Respect is one of the 8 keys of harmonious union, and Jeff and Shaleia accentuate that it's safe for you to accept if you do feel bad, and to move through that bad feeling and honor that, okay, that's my experience, that's how I feel. And also honor if you feel good, and respect if you feel good, and enjoy that good feeling and share that good feeling. Because if you don't, then, or if you try to control it as well, you're gonna stifle it. So I think also what comes for me from this as a last thing is that joy is endless. Joy is like eternal. Joy is like infinite. So there's not going to be a place where you don't experience joy anymore, that you can't feel fulfilled inside. You're going to always have, like in divine truth, I feel like you can always go deeper and really experience that joy all the time. I think that that's what perfect union might feel like. You obviously don't have upsets, so therefore you're in this joyful space all the time, and you live your life to the fullest. And I think that's a beautiful goal to have. Besides, we're working, I don't know, like most of the people watching probably are on the twin flame journey. So you might be working hard towards harmonious union, but there's also like another level beyond that, which is perfect union, where you have healed everything. And I think that's, as Jose Michela said, like that's where you're gonna have just joy all the time.
Anything else you guys want to say before we end it? No?
Feeling complete, feeling joyful. Good. Well then, thank you everybody for joining us today in the after church tea time. Yes.
And with that, see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you very much.